Hi everyone, welcome. Tonight I was playing with a Christmas gift, these Chalko chalk markers, and I kind of wanted to just jump on and show you guys a couple of things with them that I found really neat because they are cheaper than the acrylic markers, which was a bonus for me. So I thought I would hop on and we'd talk about them a little bit, and I had a couple other things I wanted to go over. So before I do that, this is Kerby Rosanes Mythomorphia. I'm working on the snow page with Prismas and the chalk markers as I throw stuff around. My desk is kind of full because for one, I had to move some things around on it for the internet people to come fix my internet. And for two, I am in the middle of this project, so I have a lot of pencils and things out that I don't want to put away because I don't want to lose my combinations. So I apologize if that is a distraction to anybody. Hopefully it won't be too big of a deal, as I am going to kind of just focus on these trees right here. Move my blues. So the first thing I wanted to throw out there before we got too far was that I am having trouble with some inappropriate comments being posted on my videos from spammers, I suppose. And I've noticed that a couple of you have commented and then they have commented right after. And I have done my best to quickly delete those. But if you run into one of those, please don't report my channel. I am not in that kind of genre or area or anything like that. It's just getting the notifications and seeing them and erasing them in time. YouTube is pretty quick about getting rid of them for me most of the time, but there are a couple that have gotten by. So these are the Chalko chalk markers. This is the vintage set. They are child safe, water-based, non-toxic. It washes off from your clothes. That is a bonus for me. Low odor, acid-free, quick dry, long-lasting. And these are quick drying, which is another bonus. It tells you what it works best on. Obviously, I'm using mine in a coloring book. I haven't had any problems. These are the colors you get in this set. It gives you directions. Shake well, press the tip, recap, and store horizontal for 1 to 3 minutes, and then you can use your marker. If you need to wash it off, use a wet cloth or Windex. Made in China. So they are super neat. So one thing that I found really cool about this marker is that when you take the cap off, I haven't used this yet. There is a downside to these, but you can flip the tip. So you have a chisel. Oh, that didn't work so well. Or a round tip, whichever you prefer. Thank goodness I haven't started that one yet. So the one thing I've noticed, as you probably just seen, let me grab a scrap paper. No matter how lightly I try to start these markers, see, this one isn't so bad. The first couple, no matter how lightly I tried to start them, they like splattered everywhere, no matter how lightly my touch was. So that, like that. One thing to be aware of with these markers, they do that, and it is not my favorite thing. And like I said, it's like no matter how careful you try to be with them. This was me opening the first two markers, and so I have learned to be careful with them, but for some reason that just certain ones are really runny. So be careful of that, especially if you're doing it near your books. I almost got mine already once. And then we're just kind of going to jump in here. I'm going to show you on these trees how I used mine. So I took the light blue, shook it up a little bit. There is a little yellow down here. That was from my fingers earlier. I'm not worried about it. It's all going to be covered. Okay, there's going to be a little bit of a shadow because it's dark and I'm a lefty, but all I do is I take, and I know you're thinking snow is not blue, but I have found a technique that I like that works for me. So I will show you how I do it, and I will add white to these on the tips, but I want to get my base down first. And if you make a mistake in chalk markers, you can color over them, so bonus. So I do like these chalk markers. Overall, for me, they are a win. Very impressed with them. Mason. Sorry, he forgets that I'm over here and he gets to chatting and gets loud. So I would get another set of these. I don't know. I will have to do some investigating as to whether it's these markers or the way they are, but I would prefer ones that don't do that at the beginning. I would like a bigger color selection, but for the most part, I do like them. They are available on Amazon. They were a gift, so I have not looked into bigger sets yet, as this is my first night playing with them. Nor could I tell you price range. But so I hope everyone is enjoying their Christmas gifts. Can't believe it's a new year already. First tutorial of the new year. Not really a tutorial, I suppose. I'm not showing you how to do it. I'm just showing you the chalk markers. I was so excited. I was like, okay, I'm going to pick a page and I'm going to play with these chalk markers. And I was going through my books. I was like, perfect. A whole page about snow. Like, I have blue, purple, teal. Like, perfect. So, that's how I ended up in this old book. It's funny because when Kirby's books first came out, they, I didn't color in them. I bought 2 of them and never colored in them. So now I have, I always usually, books I really love, I buy 2 of. So I have a practice copy and a final copy. That's just how I am. I'm scared to ruin books I love. But I am getting better about it. So I haven't been buying doubles near as often, unless they are really, really near and dear to me. I know, sorry, I'm kind of rambling, but I don't have a lot to talk about why I dot all these trees. And I am going to do a couple of them. If you're super bored, fast forward. But I am going to do a couple of them so you see the effect of how they work together. Scoot a little, so hopefully my hand ain't too much in the way. So I am going to put a little blue down the top, on the side of the trees. And I'm just dotting the ends of all the tree limbs. Another thing I will point out while I'm thinking about it, so these chalk markers do bleed through a tiny bit. It's not necessarily bleed through per se, more like shadowing, but it is there. So if it is something you were worried about on the other side, I advise you to be careful. A little bit right there. Most Kirby books for backgrounds I paint anyway, so I am not that worried about the turtle on the other side. Honestly, at this point in my coloring journey, I think I realized I am not going to get through every single page in every book, so if I get more than 1 done in this book, I will be happy with myself. When I first started my coloring journey, these were the first books I bought at Walmart when I first started my journey around 2017, 16. Around there is when I got into the adult books, not just the magazines and whatnot. But I was like, oh, I love this book. I'm going to color every page in it, and that's why I bought 2, was so I could practice in one and then have a beautiful completed book. No, that has not happened for me. I would like it to, but I have not finished a book yet. I am super close, but I have not finished a book yet. So notice this spot I messed up just a little bit, so I'm going to let that dry and then I will show you how I'm going to fix it. Same with over here. If you're getting too, if you feel like your trees are blending together, I will show you how I'm going to fix that. Like I said, for right now, I'm just mainly trying to mark where I want my snow to go. So do I want it to stay at the bottom? Do I want it to go up? If there's anywhere I don't like maybe right here, if I don't like that blue, then I know when I'm going back with my other colors that I need to fix that general area. I'm also trying to not necessarily black out all the lines of the tree limbs, but somewhat make them look covered. Like I didn't follow the lines. They have natural flow. That is a personal preference. So I hope everyone got lots of fun books. I have not spent my Christmas money yet. I don't know what I want. I've had my eye on a few things, but I just haven't fully decided. I figured I would give it a little while and see what everybody else spends their money on. And then maybe that would help me, because I've looked at a few, you know, when you're looking through pages and whatnot, and you go, oh, I love that book, where did you get that book? And then you buy it. So I'm thinking maybe others will post their Christmas journeys and how they spent their money and what they received, and that will help guide me in what I want to do. I am bored by no means. I have quite a few things to work on, so that is not the green. That was almost bad. Okay, so there you can go in with any green you want. You can go in with more than one green you want, but when I look at a tree and in the snow, under that ledge where the top of the next branch is never gets snow because it's covered. So the first thing I want to do is kind of just go through. You can show a couple poking out where the snow slid down the branch. I kind of want these cracks, and like I said, if I don't like it, I will fix it with the white. I don't want to go down toward the blue too far because that is the bottom of my snow, so I want to keep the top of the snow looking white, and I probably will fix that with a little paint or something of the sort. For right now, I just want to make sure I blend this green in. And like I said, if you made an error with your chalk marker, like say I want that spot to be green, color's right over, not a problem. It's also chalk, so you can scratch it off. I have not tried a whole lot of acrylic based markers, so I've tried Poscas, and I've had a couple of the Sharpie paint pens that I don't really adore that much, but I haven't tried like an actual set of acrylic pens, so I can't actually say if I prefer the chalk or acrylic better. What I can say is I do like the chalk for the easiness of removing the mistakes, and they are cheaper. Not incredibly cheaper, but a little bit. Also chalk markers, because they are I can't talk tonight, it is past my bedtime. Chalk markers are going to be a little bit less vibrant because they are these they are chalk, so they have that really matty, dusky kind of, so it's not going to be the most vibrant effect. They might have a neon set. I haven't tried. I was really attracted to the vintage set, so that is where I started when I advised Santa Claus that these would be fun. So one thing I want to do when I'm putting in my green, even if I go back and cover the end of it with a little bit of white, I want to make sure that I cover most of these lines that the author has put in, just so that my white doesn't have green streaks showing too far through it. So you could make those snow clumps if you want, tree clumps if you want. We'll just go in and color under all the branches. And that's why I said if you are worried about your tree blending in with the other one too much, just to hold on and give it a second, because you can put that green in. Right here I would probably go in with a darker green, but I'm going to mark it with this green so I know. Alright, this tree is in the front, so I do need a little green there just to kind of show the differences in the trees, and that's just something you will have to play with, kind of decide what you like when you get that far. Making sure I find all my under trees. My under trees, that's what I'm gonna call them, my under trees. Okay. Now, this is the part where if you wanna take a brighter green and go in to where you know the brighter spots will be, that's doable. You don't want to completely knock out your dark green though. You want that shadow, you want it to look like the other branches are laying over. I know this looks like an extremely bright green, but it does tone down when I blend it, so. I can't decide right there. I do believe that is the back of a tree. I'm gonna color it green and probably dot it when I come back with the blue. So there is other colors, obviously. I am not going to use them all in this picture just because I can't fit them. And they are a little messy. I probably should have opened them and started them before this video so I could color swatch them for you. But they were really messy, so I've really only been trying to open them as I go. I may use this purple for this sky. I haven't decided yet. This was sort of a spontaneous mission. It wasn't really a planned mission I had for January. It was just sort of a, here we go, this looks fun. I do believe there's a group with a challenge going on with it. So this is the purple. I don't know, I think I've opened this green one. And see, they are going through. Gonna cover it, so not worried, but very pretty green. I'm not going to start this on my book because I am worried it's going to, so I'm going to be very careful.
I got 2 choppers down.
Every time. And I feel like that is like so much of the marker just wasted. So that is a little disappointing. I might, I don't know. But it does spread beautifully. It does blend beautifully. So, you know, you can make a cool background out of it if you want. It is fast drying, so obviously that's not going to work as well as if you were to blend them going, but so that is the Chalko chalk markers. Thankfully, they, as much as they do get on your hands, they are easy to wash off. Not a big deal there. So I thank you for watching. I hope to see you next video, and if there's anything else you want to see, let me know, and I hope to show you this completed page in the monthly wrap-up. Thanks for watching.